This video was made possible by CuriosityStream. When you sign up at the link in the description, you'll also get access to Nebula, the streaming video platform that HAI is a part of. Hello and welcome to Pyongyang Restaurant. Table for two? No problem, right this way. Might I interest you in a glass of ginseng wine or perhaps some of our famous kimchi? Wonderful, that'll be coming right up. While you wait, please sit back and enjoy the ambience and decor, the live musical performances by your waitresses, and try to forget that this entire restaurant is run by one of the most brutal, repressive, murderous governmental regimes in the world. Oh, did I say murderous government regime? I meant to say the bathrooms are down the hall and to the left. My bad. What's that you say? You want to know more about these restaurants? Well, alright, but only if you promise not to tell anyone. If it gets back to the Supreme Leader that I told you any of this, he's not going to be happy. This Pyongyang restaurant is one of over 130 Pyongyang restaurants all across Asia in countries like China, Thailand, Vietnam, and more. Now, as much as fish-flavored ice cream and medium-rare chicken seems like a crime against humanity, the food at Pyongyang restaurant actually does represent a threat for humanity's future, as this restaurant is owned by the country whose nuclear arsenal is one of the world's greatest geopolitical threats. But the kimchi's really good, so it all pretty much evens out. UN sanctions make essentially all of the restaurants completely illegal under international law, but apparently it turns out that if you have really good dumplings, the UN sort of looks the other way. When you arrive at the restaurant, you're greeted by a waitress that was hand-selected by the North Korean government, screened 3 generations back for loyalty to the North Korean government, and chosen for their beauty, height, and artistic ability, and when they aren't serving you a bowl of Pyongyang cold noodles, they'll be on stage wearing traditional Cheongsonot dresses, singing, dancing, and playing instruments. Now, if you've ever worked long shifts at a restaurant, you might have thought to yourself, man, this Applebee's feels like a prison. For the staff at Pyongyang restaurants, that feeling is a bit more literal. The waitresses actually have to live above the restaurant and aren't allowed to wander the city freely. In 2016, 13 waitresses escaped from a location in Beijing and defected, much like I defected from Applebee's. Though technically they didn't call it defecting, they called it not showing up for work and getting fired. The food is mainly upscale Korean cuisine, not much different than what you'd find at most South Korean restaurants, but it does have a few North Korea-specific dishes like Pyongyang cold noodles, Taedonggang beer, and the strange overwhelming sense of censorship and oppression. Oh, sorry, did I say censorship and oppression? I meant spicier kimchi. You should really try the kimchi. Why is a government that's known for its nuclear arsenal and brutal re-education camps building upscale dining rooms that serve tofu soup? In part, the restaurants exist for cultural diplomacy. By exposing foreigners to a version of North Korean cuisine, a version with tasty food, upscale decor, and friendly women who sing and dance, the restaurants aim to convince people that North Korea is a nice, prosperous, normal place. After all, a country's restaurant can say a lot about that place. The Canadian chain Tim Hortons has donuts to show that Canadians are sweet, the South African chain Nando's has peri-peri sauce to show that South Africans are spicy, and the American chain KFC has a sandwich with fried chicken instead of bread to show that Americans are complete maniacs. The other reason for the restaurants is the same as the reason behind Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, and Ocean 13. Cold, hard cash. See, the North Korean government is in desperate need of foreign currency, in particular Chinese yuan and American dollars. Technically they do have their own currency, the won, but it's highly unstable and poorly managed, kind of like my YouTube career. The won is essentially useless, like Monopoly money or YouTube comments criticizing my pronunciation. Nearly everyone in North Korea uses foreign currency, like dollars or won, and that includes the government. The problem is, the government has a lot of trouble getting that currency. After all, how does one country get money from another country? The answer is, usually, through trade. If the US buys something, let's say tea, from the UK, now the US has more tea and the UK has more US dollars. If the UK buys from the US, let's say cheeseburgers, now the US has more pounds and the UK also has more pounds, but a different kind. With the extensive sanctions most of the world enforces on North Korea, however, there's very little trade between North Korea and other countries, and therefore very little access to foreign currency. The one country North Korea does much trade with, China, is selling a lot more to North Korea than they're buying, and North Korea needs a way to make up the difference. They can't just print more won and give them to China, because remember, nobody wants won, and so instead, they've been using foreign currency reserves, but they're quickly running out, and that's why Pyongyang restaurants exist. The restaurants are each run by a middleman who must send a fixed sum back to North Korea every month, between $10,000 and $30,000 depending on the size of the restaurant. If you don't manage to send that money back, North Korea will shut the restaurant down and make all the employees return to the homeland. And while we may not know everything about North Korea, we can pretty safely guess that returning home to an angry North Korean government that feels you cheated it out of money isn't, an amazing experience. Alright, that's all I can say, and I've probably said too much already, so just go back to eating your kimchi and let's pretend none of this ever happened. What I definitely haven't said enough about, though, is CuriosityStream. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and CuriosityStream has over 2,400 motion pictures about science, technology, history, and more, so math tells me that I have a lot more words left to fully describe it. The crazy part is, though, that those mad lads took their annual subscription, which was already an amazing deal, and made it even better as it now includes a subscription to Nebula. Nebula is the streaming site that I and a bunch of other creators started as a place to try new things on a platform purpose-built for educational content. All new HAI and Wendover videos go up there ad-free, and there's also a bunch of original, exclusive content from different creators. To get all that, all you need to do is sign up for the annual plan, just $19.99 a year, at curiositystream.com/HAI, and then you'll get an email with a link to get your free Nebula subscription. Also, you'll be supporting all these independent creators independently create, which is, like, cool.